Hey everybody, I'm Andy Smith. I'm a 30-year comic book veteran, having worked for Marvel Comics, DC Comics, Image Comics, Cross Generation, Ominous Press. You name it, I've probably worked for them. And I do other things art-wise outside of comics in the field of advertising. I've also written some books on drawing comics you might have seen. Drawing American manga superheroes, Drawing Dynamic Comics was my first book. And I also did the handy little How to Draw Superhero sketchbook where all you need is a pencil because you do all the work right inside the book. Enough about that. This is the Book Look series. The Book Look series is where I grab a book off my library. You can see the tons of books I have behind me. And I go through it page by page with you so you can see if it's a book that you might want to buy. I like to know what I want to buy before I buy it, and I feel this is a way to give you some insight into these books. So join me for today's book look. Thanks. Hello everybody, this is Andy Smith, your host with the most, 32-year veteran of the comic book industry, and just an awesome guy. I mean, come on, that's what everybody tells me, and when I say that, I mean my mom. And if you can't trust your mom, who can you trust? Anyhow, here I am with another book look. Today we are featuring Kerry Gammill's Drawing Monsters and Heroes for film and comics. Blah. Forward by effects master Steve Johnson. Intro by Ain't It Cool News Harry Knowles. I've been a huge fan of Kerry Gammill's work since Superman back in the day. When he was working on Superman, inks by Brett Breeding. Those guys made a great team. I love Brett's pencils. Some of his work kind of has a John Byrne-esque feel to it, and some of the faces and such. It wasn't until after I discovered his work that I went back and found the stuff he did for Marvel and Power Man and Iron Fist and Marvel team-ups. He did 2 issues of Marvel Fanfare with Captain America that are just some of my favorites. This book was put out by Vanguard Productions. It came out a while ago. This book came out way back in 2001. As you can see, it's got a nice table of contents, you know, his beginnings and such. This book is the size of a comic. In proportion, it is, how many pages is this thing? Let's see. It doesn't say there. Table of contents again. 92, so 100 pages or so. And it's cool because you see, I love the beginnings to see what artists were into. And Kerry is a big monster guy. He really likes monsters and stuff. And it's funny, just so happens showing Frankenstein here. On Kickstarter right now, there's a Frankenstein and a Dracula graphic novels that Kerry did some art in, and I've seen the Dracula one before, but I've never seen the Frankenstein, and I gotta say, the stuff in the Frankenstein looks fantastic, so I might actually have to back it. Right here, this is what full pencils used to look like back in the day. So your inker would really have to go in and do a job of inking. You can see that, you know, the inker can go in and decide if this is going to be solid black, the shadow here, add more texture and rendering. Not the super tight pencils that you see today. That is just a hallmark issue right there. Now, once again, this is a book I pulled off my shelf. I haven't looked at this book in probably 10 years or so. So it's fun to relive some memories. Here's some horror makeup that he did on himself. So that's cool. He is really into this stuff. I always wondered when he left comics what he did. And it looks like he went and did special effect type stuff. So breaking into comics. This is some of his first work right here. I do need to go back and reread this. Here we go, Power Man and Iron Fist. I will say I wasn't a big fan of Ricardo Villamonte's inks over Kerry, especially when you see the pencils and such. Like I said, there's an issue of Superman he did that there's a splash page of Superman, full figure, coming in for a landing, and inks by Brett Breeding are just beautiful. I actually have a piece of Kerry Gammill original art, which is Eradicator Superman, and it's inked by none other than Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. So that itself is a treat. But I love these pencils. These are pencils right here. Like I said, you need to know, the inker needs to know what they're doing. This cannot just be traced off. And of course, here's one of the covers to the issue of Marvel Fanfare I was talking about he did with Captain America. Now, he was supposed to do, oh yeah, he also did some Indiana Jones. He was supposed to do, I believe, a whole issue of X-Men Unlimited. And I think he ended up just doing a cover, and he never did the inside, which really just stinks, because that Cyclops, I think, is awesome. And it would have been cool to see him do the whole thing. Teen Titans stuff. He's another guy that, you know, did do runs on books, but they weren't super long runs. Oh yeah, this issue of Superman right here, which of course I do own, inked by my buddy John Beatty. I remember this issue. This, I wish it had captions saying what this stuff was from, because I really don't know what this is from. So if anybody does, let me know, because I'd like to track it down and get it. $1985. Check that out. So it says an unpublished wraparound cover that he penciled and inked for Marvel Team Up Index. Oh, that's cool. And he did the cover to the Marvel Team Up with Dominic Fortune, but I don't think he actually drew the inside of it. Just look at this beautiful shot of Iron Fist here. So nice. He did the covers for Power Girl. Wish he would have drawn the insides to it. Drawing heroes for comics. See, I love sketches like this. God, I can't remember what that character's name is. Don't know what this was used for. 1982. And then you love seeing life drawing by comic book artists, because it looks nothing like their comic book work. Because when we do life drawing, we're just trying to draw the model and what we see, and then take some of that and put it into the comic book work. This I really like. This was inked, let me see if it says, yes, it was inked by Al Vey. Al Vey is a very tight, slick inker, almost along the lines of like a Terry Austin, you can kind of see. And it really gave Kerry stuff a nice polished look. Yeah, Punisher. This is what I mean by Byrne. This is kind of John Byrne-esque looking right there. Wish I could open this more, but unfortunately with the binding I can't. I don't know who this character is. It's from the cover that's partially colored, but I love this. This isn't full penciled. This is fully penciled up here, but then down here you get down to his initial breakdowns and stuff. Always liked the way Kerry did anatomy. See, like that face kind of gives me a John Byrne type vibe as well.
Now see this, like I said, I don't think this was ever printed because this is X-Men stuff you can see. And I want to say it was supposed to be for X-Men Unlimited #1. Because if you look at X-Men Unlimited #1, which is drawn by Chris Pacello, and it's a beautiful job. In fact, here it says, these unpublished pencils show what a comic page looks like when it leaves the penciler's hands. Notes have been made in the borders for the writer, blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't say. I think this was for X-Men Unlimited #1. Like I said, going back, Chris Pacello drew the book, and it did have Cyclops with bandages over his eyes. So I guess something happened, and he just, I don't know. I'd love to know the backstory on why he didn't finish it, because I would love to have seen this whole job by Kerry. So he did do the Fallen Angels. I don't know if he did all 8 issues of Fallen Angels, however. But you can see how cool his X-Men would have been. See, here's the cover I was talking about, #6. But he didn't do the insides, unfortunately. But you can see the different cover sketches and such. Oh, there are page numbers. They're just tiny. And then some Star Wars stuff. So apparently he got into doing toy design and such after comics. Probably got paid a little bit better. I don't know who this dude is, this toy design is, but it's just cool. Now this, I think, if I remember reading right, he drew it kind of in the style of Kurt Swan on purpose. I don't know if this Hulk was ever made, but pretty freaking cool. So this book is cool because you get to see some of the behind the scenes of the design process for toys and stuff. I mean, look at this. Here's the Batman and Robin. Is this from the, looks like it's from the George Clooney Batman. Thing is very cool. John Byrne-esque looking thing. And then breaking into film. So here he is at work on Virus in the FX room. So he did film design stuff. This chapter I really did because you get to see all this cool concept design stuff that he did. I don't know if I've ever actually seen the film Virus, but man, just look at that. It's so freaking cool. The way he did the tech and stuff. Some great alien designs here for Outer Limits episode, The Awakening. And this was for something, the Outer Limits episode, Feasibility Study. So it'd be cool to go back and watch those episodes and have this book with you to compare. Drawing monsters for film and makeup. A proposed vampire for I Am Legend. Come on, we remember that movie. And these are all probably things that he designed thinking of they'd be done with practical makeup effects. I mean, these are 2 villain designs for a proposed Hulk movie, it says. More I Am Legend type stuff. And you can tell these would be done with practical makeup. You know, you could see that a regular person could be underneath all this stuff. I think that is just freaking cool right there. I mean, all this stuff is, but he's like, movie stuff? Yeah, it pays a little bit better than comic book stuff. So I think I'll do that. I'm not sure what Kerry's up to these days. He's a guy that I would love to have had a drawing of First Man from. I think I tried reaching out to him before and he was just too busy at the time. That was a long time ago. I might have to try it again. There's a lot you can learn from this book, though, just looking at the shapes of the heads and stuff. Remember, a good silhouette will make a good design. So you can look at these shapes, and they're all different silhouettes, and then after you get the good silhouette, you go in and start pulling out details and such. And then storyboarding even. So this, if you want to know what storyboards look like for films and stuff, this is great. It'll show you the camera angles and stuff used. And right here, you can just see the whole sequence. The arrows indicate how the camera moves in. It's amazing how tight these boards are. You know, I always thought for film and stuff, storyboards should just be looser, because what's the point of being so tight? It's just for camera angle stuff. But now he's even doing designs for full body suits. This is for Species 2. We all remember the Species movies. And these are supposed to be for full bodies. So here is that's Kerry with some arms that I guess he designed on. Love that guy. This is one of my favorites right here. I just love, well, it's one of my favorites in regard to design and then just pencil technique, because it looks like side of the pencil here. I love the way this back looks. Nice twist in the figure overall. Another Species looking design there. Sexy Species. A seductive alien invader. Oh, from movie First, or Sci-Fi Channel series First Wave. Okay, I take it back. Not Species. And you can see his drawing and then what it looks like in 3D. This is great. Shark. I love this. Proposed designs for the ABC miniseries The Creature. Shark / human-esque. The profile of it here, silhouette, looks like a shark, but then you can see his legs here and his arms tucked in, and then he pulls them out. Just really cool stuff. I would love to see another art book featuring Kerry's work. Like I said, this one is 22 years old, so. And then drawing for animatronics even. I mean, that, you really got to think about how things work and how they move, because this is stuff that would be built. Here you go. Design drawing for the 13-foot Super Hulk, a planned animatronic robot to be featured at the finale of Hulk. Whew, that is freaking cool. Great bug-looking designs. This is the stuff that most people never see. They think Kerry Gammill and they think his comic book work, but then you just look at this and you really see how far his imagination can go with the other stuff he's done. I mean, and you can just see his love for monsters from when he was growing up. Props, puppets, and things. This is so cool. Here's this sketch for whatever this is, and then boom, you get the actual photograph of what they made. All this stuff would be done CGI these days, not practical, but it still has to start with a drawing. Doomsday Lives. canceled Superman movie, Superman Lives. I don't know if that was the one with Nicolas Cage or not, but some Doomsday Lives designs. That's freaking cool. Here we go, more of it. Just hulking and huge. And then that's it. We're looking back. And that's the book. And it ends with some great covers of work he's done. I think I have most of these books right here. I definitely have the Supermans. He only did covers for X-Men, never really did any insides, which is a shame. But there you go, guys. Book look, Kerry Gammill's Drawing Monsters and Heroes for Film and Comics. Thank you so much for joining me as we look through another great book. I will check to see if it's available, and if it's available anywhere, I'll post links for you. Thank you again. Please hit the like, subscribe button, the notification bell so you know when these videos drop. I do a book look every week for you guys. Also, coming up is the trailer for Kor-Drath, The Reckoning. It's the barbarian book I'm doing with my buddy Dennis Turner. Check it out, guys. 76 pages of barbarian action. If you like Conan, Game of Thrones, and Dungeons and Dragons, you will like this book. Kor-Drath's tribe, the Red Lions, was overrun by a legion of the undead and slaughtered. And when Kor-Drath returns and finds his whole tribe decimated, him and the sorceress known as Adriana must go on this quest to find out who did this and why. Join the adventure in Kor-Drath, The Reckoning. Thanks, guys. We will catch you later. Always appreciated. Bye-bye.
Retribution! Oh yeah, we want retribution!